mean, in India, actually, industrial designers are not very much.
Celebrated.
People are aware of.
Yeah.
Awareness is
Celebrated
not
and talked
there.
about.
Yeah.
Even they're not talked about,
But I think there's lacking of platform as well, right? We'll come to that first. We'll finish with her introduction.
Yeah.
How did you? First question comes to my mind is why Tijil? What is this brand's name? Tijil.
Tijil is something. It's a Spanish word.
Okay.
And it means fly
word.
high.
Okay.
It means fly high.
Okay.
So it's there in my mind. Yeah, it's like a baby for me.
Okay.
We have just launched in 2021, hardly 2-3 years back.
Yeah.
So I actually wanted to take this brand, at certain level.
Okay.
So I'm just trying my best and giving,
All right. So today's episode has been shot between, I think, two different identities. One is an industrial designer and one is an interior designer. Nipa Jain comes all the way from Delhi, where she comes from a background of interior designing, which is been practiced for more than 10-15 years now. And she also, the family owns a business which is into aluminium profile. So it's product and something when it comes to designing. When it comes to Ekant Singh, it's the similar thing. He's got a brand which is called Page 2813, which is into furniture. And when it comes to his own profile, which is ES Industrial Designer, he's into anything and everything when it comes to designing products or spaces. So that's the whole conversation all about. I think today's episode will be more of a little tinge of Delhi because they both have roots in Delhi, and it's going to be a fun conversation. Looking forward for the conversation. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of EPZK, exploring people with Zaid Khan. Now, exploring has been something which is very close to us because we get to meet new people, we get to explore new places, and we get to see new products. So that's the whole idea of exploring. Today on the couch we have Ekant Singh. I think he's coming for the second time on the couch, and we have Nipa Jain, who's flown on all the way from Delhi. She's an interior designer, one other person is an industrial designer. It's going to be a very different conversation because both of them has something when it comes to products, and they are both into the design fraternity. So it will be a combination of both in the whole conversation. I'll start by asking a very simple question to Ekant sir. How are you, sir?
I am good.
Yeah? Okay. Ma'am, how are you?
I'm good too.
Thank you. Now, sir, can you just briefly tell about yourself? That's the first thing.
I am Ekant Singh, as everyone knows in the industry that I am an industrial designer. I design rugs, I design lights, I design furniture, which is my forte, and I do a part of styling also as a part of my forte. I have been associated with the design fraternity from more than 17 years, and I'm in Mumbai from last 10 years. And in last 10 years, I've carved out a niche for myself in where people know me by the different aesthetic sense in the way I design the show flats or design the living spaces which I do all across Mumbai and Pan India.
Cool. All right. So, sir is an industrial designer. Just to let you know a little bit about industrial designing, I think the whole subject is basically including but not limited to interior designing. So he could do anything when it comes to, he's done furniture pieces, he's done lights that I've seen, which is crazy, he's done art installation, I don't know what he's
Yeah, the title was also given by him.
So he's someone that I feel is very versatile, and there are people like him in the industry. But what happens today is the profession of designing products is not celebrated in India. The only profession which is respected is either an interior designer or an architect. But there are people who are designing things around that also, right?
Yeah.
Like where we are sitting now, I think everything is designed by him. But people don't respect what is there, and then that's the industrial designer thing, which is very famous abroad.
So how I constitute is that it's very important that when we aesthetically design the places which we do, it is very important that all the elements which have been brought together has to talk to each other. If they don't talk, if they don't calibrate, you don't feel the good sense or the good vibe of the whole place. And that's how some point where a lot of people falter, that you bring the best things, the best furniture, the best artifacts, the best lights from everywhere, and when they don't talk to each other, it doesn't look good. So because when we go as in designers to source different materials for a house, for a project. The lights which are looking good there might not look at the place.
True, yeah.
The furniture which you're going to go and see, they have created a space, and you look and you say that, oh wow. When you bring them to your home, they don't look good because you don't have that space or expanse.
Yes.
Because the kind of lights, the kind of things is where we fall in place. That we go ahead and we visualize that probably this piece of furniture, when we see, we make, or light, or we design, is going to look good or not. It's same to the size and the scaling also. If you put an off scale, it will not look good. Is where industrial design comes to in place.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, in India, actually, industrial designers are not very much. I mean, people are aware of.
Yeah.
Celebrated and talked about.
Yeah, yeah.
Even they're not talked about,
But I think there's lacking of platform as well, right? Will we come to that first? We'll finish with her introduction.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Nipa Jain. I'm a founder and principal design at Tajil, and it's an interior designer company. We have launched in 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like I have dedicated myself to creating spaces that actually reflects clients' personality and lifestyle.
Okay.
And what I feel, I mean, it also should be aesthetic, and it blends with like functionality too.
All right.
So yeah, that ways we work.
Okay.
Yeah. And I own one more company that is not but my family's business. That is aluminum extrusions. We have our factory in Behror, and that.
Whereabout is that factory?
Behror, it's Delhi Jaipur highway.
Okay.
In the mid. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was established in 2011,
Okay.
which was established by my father-in-law.
Okay.
Though he is not alive, but he has a clear vision that one day OEPL will be the India's leading, aluminum extrusion company, manufacturing company.
Okay.
And with his efforts, or with our dedication now, our company has led us to achieve that over 200 crores.
Nice.
Turnover
Wow.
of over 200
Nice.
crores now.
Nice.
So yeah.
So what is that brand all about into? Aluminum
It's about
extrusion?
aluminum profiles, panels, doors, windows, all kind of profiles. Yeah.
So you do color coatings as well? in it, or-
Everything. We manage to, we manage projects from end to end process.
Okay.
Yeah, start to finish. Everything we do.
Okay. Interesting. So you have got both the businesses.
Yeah,
You design also,
Yeah,
and then
in
you
interior
produce
projects
also.
yeah, in interior projects also, like, doors, windows are there.
Yeah.
And shower cabins are there. Wardrobes are there. So nowadays we are using aluminum profiles everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and color combination, you can't even imagine that wood color is of aluminum or it's actually wooden. So that ways, I mean.
Yeah, these is textures, and you will be just blindfold that sometimes you get confused that it is,
Actually.
if you see from the far, that if they are
That
using
powder
aluminum
coating and
profile and powder
anodizing, yeah.
anodizing.
Yeah.
Earlier there were only a couple of colors available in the market.
I think
And you have to just
that ugly looking
looking,
silver
Yeah,
and you
matte
have
all
to
silver.
just
kind of
manage
colors,
with
a
that
matte
only.
finish.
Yeah.
Matte finishes are there, glossy finishes are there. What color you want?
But it
all
is said,
colours are
I don't
available
know
right
if you're on the technical part, but I don't know. But it said that aluminium is something where it bends easily. Is it the thing? Or?
No.
Okay.
No, aluminium
good
does not
strength.
bend easily. Aluminium is a very difficult and a very expensive
It's very
material
expensive material.
in the
it's
market.
a metal, yeah, and it's very expensive.
And then there was a market for aluminium which is almost diminished like till last 3 years.
Okay.
Because people would not want to use aluminium so much because of A, it is expensive, and B, you just get only 2 colors into it.
Yeah.
You can just do it 2 colors by, from last couple of years, what I have seen the transition is that there are
number of colors
n number
now.
of colors, n number of experimentation has been done, and the whole aluminium thing has been revived.
Okay.
The thing is, aluminium profiling and it lasts longer than any other.
Than any
Okay.
other, yeah.
It is light in
yeah.
weight than SS or MS or any other profile which we make. Even if we talk about UPVC windows, they are also much more heavier than aluminium is.
And they are plastic mostly.
Yeah.
UPVC
So
is
aluminium
mostly
plays
plastic
aluminium is a one substance or a material which was because of its longevity and its sustainability and lighter weight, it was expensive
And
for
maintenance
people to
free.
maintain.
Maintenance
And you had only 2 colors available at that point of time. So people would not want to have aluminium profiling till like couple of years ago.
Couple
But
of
now,
years ago, but now-
the way the things have changed and the color
Especially
coding
in
and everything is
facades,
done.
in facades, you see most of the buildings they are using aluminium.
Yeah. See, they don't get corrosion easily.
I
So a
was-
lot of in my furniture also. Earlier, I have used for sofa legs or the console legs, where I would want that stability should be there. And if you put a lot of weight into anything, like for example, you sit on sofa for a very long time, it should not break because it has a very less, everything breaks in this world, but it has a very, very less tendency to fall apart per se as a material.
Okay.
In terms of like, if you talk about SS weathers off. SS stays for a very long time, but like for Mumbai weather or whatever, it just start getting the corrosion and everything after a certain period of time, which is not the case with aluminium.
Yes, aluminium. It's a scratch proof. It's
Yeah,
a
and it doesn't change
maintenance
its shape also.
weatherproof. Yeah.
For longest I know.
All right. Cool.
And after a certain point of time, if you want to change color, you can go with that as well.
Like recoating.
Yeah, recoating.
Interesting.
So that happens with SS also, but primarily for the stability and sustainability, aluminium was known and lighter.
Lighter.
The best thing was, the best word to describe is, it was the lightest,
Lighter metal.
lighter metal available in the market at but then obviously expensive.
All right.
But now since we have all of this color and everything into picture, we have started using again.
All right. Done.
Yeah.
How did you? First question comes to my mind is why Tijil? What is this brand's name? Tijil.
Tijil is something. It's a Spanish word.
Okay.
And it means
Spanish
fly
word.
high.
Okay.
It means fly high.
Okay.
So it's there in my mind. Yeah, I actually it's like a baby for me.
Okay.
We have just launched in 2021, hardly 2-3 years back.
Yeah.
So I actually wanted to take this brand, at certain level.
Okay.
So I'm just trying my best and giving,
All right.
my best whatever I can do. I mean, this is something. Of course, like a baby, you want to grow, with good qualities and good, everything like a mother does for a baby.
Agreed.
So I'm just trying to do with Tijil as
Tijil.
well. Yeah.
All right. All right. And what kind of projects does Tijil do?
Mostly residential.
Okay.
Also, we do commercial, but mostly into residential.
Residential interior is
Yes.
what you're speaking about.
Yeah.
Okay. The Spanish word Tijil.
Yeah.
These, I don't know, if I could have found him anywhere else on the planet apart from India, it will be Spain. I
Spain
don't know for what
only.
reason.
Yeah,
He's got
even
facial features also, which is little Spanish. This is what I tell him.
Even when I apply for Schengen visa, and I always apply for Spain only, I've been asked in the interview that why do you always go to Spain?
Yeah.
What does it invite? I said, some point in my life, I would want to retire and stay in Spain only.
Wow.
And there are
You're very
places.
fond of Spain or something?
Yeah, I love Spain, and there's a place called Roses in Spain.
Okay.
It's very beautiful, and is where I want to live in my life. It's very peaceful. It's not just near Girona University, so very beautiful.
Cool.
So yeah.
So, can you elaborate more on ES Industrial Designer and Page 2813? Why you have two segments under your name? Just to, because see, but today we are looking, the reason we are doing this podcast is we want to understand, because she's also speaking from a product angle and there's a creative angle. The same thing is happening with you. In a nutshell, can you put ES Industrial Designer and Page 2813 in two different zones for us?
See, when initially I had started learning and doing interior design as a subject, there are a lot of things which have been taught into the institution, but there is not specific that they teach you furniture. So when I was a student, I was always interested in being a furniture designer.
Okay.
But back then and today, there are no specialized courses available in the market which says furniture designer in India per se.
I agree.
And abroad, yes, you have a specialization to do a furniture designing, but then you have to do masters. You have to do interiors here, and then you have to go abroad and you study and come back.
Yeah.
But we don't have courses available, and there are now people who are following to be a furniture designer or want to be a furniture designer. All we do end up is that we are interior designers and architects who can design a specific piece or a furniture or an artwork for a certain project. but there is no specified person who is actually qualifying and telling that this is right and this is wrong in terms of when you want to make furniture for yourself, buy a furniture for yourself, or choosing a furniture for your own house. Is why I chose that I want to be specialized in furniture designing only. It's been good 15, 17 years I've been known and I've been talking about furniture designer only. I don't do elevational designing or flooring or ceiling or anything else other than the lights in the ceiling. Is why I wanted to limit it myself. It wasn't easy, and it's not easy because the industry which we play in, that people would want to hire an interior designer, not a specific furniture designer or anything else. Is when and how I started this brand called Page 2813, whose goal was to only specifying to make furniture.
Okay.
Manufacturer also, and I design and I execute in that way. We also at Page 2813 now, because most of the designers are not comfortable working for a designer brand who is owned by a designer. Is why I thought that I would have another brand called ES, which is an industrial designer, because I fall into a spectrum of everything,
Exactly.
which
You can
is
design
under interior design. For example, if you are designing a house, you would need light, you would need rugs, you would need furniture, you would need art pieces, you would need artifacts, you would need murals, is what all I design. So certainly, specifically, you don't have to hire me for only all of these services. You can hire me for one service also.
Okay.
If you want to get a mural done in your house, I can design a mural. If you think that everything has been done by someone else, I can do rugs also. If you think that I'm in a need of a specific light and I'm not a light consultant or a lighting consultant, or I don't design lights for indoor or outdoor. I do decorative lights which are bespoke and tailor-made for that space.
Okay.
It's not that I keep on making and keep on hanging things and you will come and select over there.
Okay.
Whatever I do as a space of a ES industrial designer is something which is bespoke and curated for that particular project, and it is never repeated anywhere else.
Just to add one thing here, so which means ES industrial designer is where we call it more of a custom-made bespoke furniture for your space, which is being thought and developed for your space. And Page 2813 on the other end is a furniture manufacturing unit of your own, where if an interior designer wants to get his own furniture, maybe something that he's seen or he wants to get that made for his space, you can do that under Page 2813.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Understood.
That is also done in the Page 283 banner. And obviously, there is a lot of work which has been, like I have my own line which is like completely bespoke, which is my line. But then as a furniture manufacturer, which is Page 2813, can also make something which is available on the internet, which is everyone is internet savvy and people follow certain internet sites and everything from Instagram to the other sites, and they want to make a particular piece which they are wanting, that I want this particular piece in my house. We make them.
Okay.
I think interior designer and I think furniture designer, they work hand in hand. So kind of.
See, this is what the notion has been in the market, and this is why people have not been that. I have hired interior designer. Why do I need a furniture designer? Same ही तो होता है. This is what it is. People have said, आप भी तो कर लो ना. So, but then I have been associated and architects and interior designers who I've been working with, or the developers I've been working, and they have understood. Primarily, it takes a little time to understand that who is a furniture designer and who is an interior designer. So the person who designs the whole interior space, the wall cladding, the elevationals, the flooring, the ceiling, that person sets the whole mood and the taste to the whole thing. But the person would not know the ergonomics of the furniture. The person would not know what is the right composition to do it. We do line outs, we should share those line outs with everyone, but then that's the line we have to follow. For example, if the sofa has to be 1900 mm or 2100 mm, or probably if you have a larger space 2850 mm. But that's a 2D, that's a square you are giving it to it. When you look at the square and that square is or rectangle is converted into a furniture piece, how would it look like? So the sizes no matter, the sizes don't remain the same most of the time when it comes to the furniture designer. Because what happens is if you make cut to cut sizes, they will not fit in place.
Of course,
They
size
do
does
fit
matter.
in place on the 2D drawing, but then you have to tweak in the design when you're making it, because then there's a foaming, there's a cushioning, there's everything which has been added into it. Plus you look at the 2D drawings most of the times, but when the 2D drawing has been converted into a color, which is some fabric, maybe this fabric, maybe a green fabric or whatever, how is it going to look like?
So you can't
How do you
decide
visualize?
beforehand,
Yeah, you can't decide and visualize.
Yes.
Is where our expertise come into it, that we know that this is going to blend well or not. An interior designer knows how the color setting and the mood setting is done, but a furniture designer would know that how the space is going to look like with this kind of furniture or not.
Want to know from you, why did you choose this profession first? When did you choose this profession?
So, I got married when I was 20. I have completed my graduation after my
You
marriage.
got married when you were 20.
When I was 20 years
Okay.
old. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I got married when I was 18.
Sorry. Continue.
so I have completed my graduation after marriage only. So, मेरा खुद का ही घर was renovating.
Okay.
So, doing that, I just got this ki I want to do something related to interior designing and all.
Okay.
And I told my father-in-law about this ki I want to do this. He's like, okay, go ahead. And next day I just enrolled into this. There's one institute, Ekant karke. So I took an admission over there, and I did 1 year diploma course and all everything. And after that, I think I did freelancing for 10 years, more than 10 years, I guess.
Okay.
Then I launched my own brand, the Stajul,
Okay.
2-3 years back. Till the time I was working as a freelancer.
So which means it's total of what, 13-14 years of experience when you
More
come
than
to
that.
More than that.
Yeah.
More than that. What
It's
kind of
almost, yeah.
what scale of projects are we talking about when you're doing
Mostly
projects?
residential.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in Delhi, Gurgaon, Noida, I cover.
Any plans to do something in Bombay?
If I get good opportunities, why not?
Good. Let's move to the next segment.
Yeah.
Rapid fire round.
Yes.
I'll ask question. You both have to answer. First, we'll start by Ekant sir. Now, I'll ask one question. You both have to answer. The reason I'm going ahead with him is because you get time to think. And if I ask you, he doesn't get time to think.
Alright,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So, if your design studio had a theme song, what would it be?
I don't know the song, but there's a song
I'm
which
very
you
bad
had
at
given
lyrics
me.
and songs,
I
and,
can be a hero. I can be a
Champion?
champion.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm for you.
See, I'm very bad at songs and lyrics. I have no idea. Mera bangla bane.
Huh? Okay. Bangla bane kind of
Pyara or
song?
Nyara, I don't know what.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
If your design style were an ice cream flavor, which flavor would it be?
Blueberry.
It's a combo of vanilla and chocolate.
Combo of vanilla and chocolate. All right. Okay. If your job title was a superhero name, which superhero it would be?
Thor.
Really? Okay.
Superman.
Superman. All right. Okay. Cool. If your designs were a movie genre, what would they be?
International or Indian movies?
Genre, anything. Romantic, comedy, thriller, rom-com, horror-com.
Romantic.
Romantic for you.
Same.
Romantic.
My work is all about romance.
Yeah.
They have to fall in love with each other.
Yes.
Okay.
True.
If your designs were a season, which season would it be?
Winters.
All right.
Monsoon.
Why?
Because I love rains.
Okay, you don't live here. You come Mumbai. You stay here, you'll hate.
You will
I love
hate.
Delhi rains. I
You
love
will
Delhi
hate
rains.
rains. I used to love rains when I was in Delhi. Every rain I used to get
I love
drenched.
Delhi rains.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Here
about
I don't even step out.
Yeah.
It's
One rainy season, you have
flooded.
suspension work in your car.
flooded, yeah.
flooded. I know it's flooded
Cool.
Mumbai Reams is.
If your designs, I think I know his answer, but still I'll ask. If your designs were a travel destination, where would it be
Spain.
for you?
India only.
Still a destination.
Still a destination,
destination.
in India. Okay. Maybe Goa.
All right. Okay. If your designs were a flower, what would it be? I mean, that's the thing.
Desert rose.
I think, I'll complete this. If your designs were a flower, what type would they be, and how would they bloom?
What type?
How would they bloom is what
How
a
would they
question.
bloom? I mean, I don't know.
Desert rose, I said.
All right.
They will bloom in desert.
Okay.
Kind of sunflower. You know, because they bloom in a dirty place,
Okay.
but they bloom it very nicely,
All right.
and they
cool.
look so
Okay.
beautiful after that, after
I don't know.
blooming. Yeah.
This is interesting. If your designs were a board game.
Board.
Board game. You
Chess.
play chess.
I was about to say chess, but then I will say darts.
But darts is not a board game, sir. Board game.
It's a board.
No, no, board game.
throw-
When you sit and play on the table.
Then chess.
Both of you chess. Okay, cool. If your designs were a famous landmark, which one would they be?
Landmark.
Empuria Brava, Spain.
You're still in Spain. Sir, I knew.
I will never come back.
For you?
Landmark. See, if I prefer Goa, then something from Goa only.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, now this is interesting. You have to think and answer, okay? Your ideal workspace in 3 words, or another way of putting it is 3 things that you need to work. It could be anywhere, but you need those 3 things to work.
So my whole collection and everything is inspired by travel.
Okay.
So 3 things I need is car, aeroplane, and bike.
Right?
For me, I think sustainable designs.
Huh?
It should be eco-friendly.
Okay.
And what else? Colors. Of course, I mean, can play with colors.
Okay.
Yeah, with these sustainable designs, I can play with bold colors or just to create different patterns, or with can play with elements.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll again ask this question. Your ideal workspace in 3 words. So you need these 3 things to work. It could be your laptop, your pen, your
Okay.
team, your favorite shirt, I don't know, blanket. So 3 things
No, but
that
that's how it is. I don't have a workspace. I mean, I don't have a workstation.
This is what I'm
workstation.
saying, but you still work, right? But you have those 3 things with you.
My car
Cool.
is my workspace.
Cool.
You know, like I said, the car is.
I'm in game. I mean, you can have conversation for like hours in your car. So I know.
Yeah, so
I
cars
think
is-
entire strategy works in car.
car, yeah.
So I'm
Everything.
game.
My world
So one
revolves
is
around car. I
Second
travel.
is
Plane,
your
because
phone.
I am the one who's traveling
I
all
am
the
telling
time.
you, your phone.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah. My phone, my car, and the plane, because I travel so much.
All right, cool.
So most of my everything works on the airport. I have exchanged so much of work on airport, waiting on the lounge and taking off and landing or in the flight.
With you. All right. Now for you.
For me, I think a good coffee place
Okay.
and my office desk
Okay.
and a phone.
All right. So this is what you need to work. All right. Cool. Moving ahead. Okay. Now this is little I don't know, cringe or what we call it. If your designs were a quote or a muhavra or a saying.
Achha, that quote, Q-U-O-T. I said like what? C-O-A-T.
No, no.
Quote, yeah.
If your designs were a quote or a muhavra or a saying, which one would it? Could be Hindi, English, either.
Art to life.
मैंने शेयर नहीं किया उनके साथ कुछ भी. I'm being very honest.
Good vision.
Good vision.
Vision, yeah, good
All right.
vision.
Okay. Okay. Last question now. What is the most? Oh, sorry. What is the weirdest source of inspiration that you have drawn from for a project or a piece?
We are the source of.
Inspiration.
Weirdest.
Weirdest. Not weird.
We have dropped.
drawn
Achha,
inspiration
okay,
from?
okay, from a client.
No, no.
Then?
For a project or a product.
I didn't get that question. Can you please repeat it?
So, what is the weirdest source of inspiration that you have drawn from for a project or a product?
What do you call red sand? Red sand, yeah. This is the weirdest thing I've picked it up and I've transformed into my art piece.
Red sand, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That
think
regular lal mitti.
Yeah, this is right on the painting behind.
All right,
On
okay.
that painting also.
for me, I think I have sourced once laminates from one vendor,
Okay.
and I have already done everything. It's all pasted and all, and because of weather, or I don't know, because of too much summer in Delhi, it all chipped out. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the weirdest, because I have to rechange it again. I have to redo the entire thing.
Okay.
So that was the weirdest source of.
But what did you source?
Laminates. That's mica.
Laminates.
Laminates. All
Laminates,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
It's mica.
So because of
I
weather.
need to do the entire thing again, because
But
you're
that could be
obviously
the fixing problem also. Maybe
fixing,
the
no,
quality
because
of the laminate
summer,
from where you
because
must have
because
sourced from.
the client's place, it was in 22nd floor.
I'll tell you something weird, weirdest, weird. So
Okay.
we bought these tiles from Casamia and Lux Surfaces for one of the projects. And when the tiles are made, the tiles here in Bombay, it's like a hit sell. But we don't use tiles in Delhi often. We use only stones, marbles and Italian floorings and everything. So when we had placed in one of the projects here, because we normally do have dry walls for the show flats, and on the dry walls we clad the tiles. And this was the first time we've realized that whenever the tiles were placed and everything, the weather changed and it got to 54 degrees and all the tiles broke.
Because of the same reason, even. It
I'm
was
sure you must be
50. It was
knowing
48
this.
degrees that time when we did that work of pasting that
I think
laminates
because
and all.
of
Of weather,
the fixing
I guess.
material maybe is how it was. I think because of the fixing
I don't
material
know
is
what
how
was
it is
it, but
broken.
I have a
we need
story to
to-
this. Okay. So
You
there's
know
a-
about this, no? That
yeah, of course.
when
So I'll
tiles
tell you a
which is
story
broken.
about this. Okay, so there's a very well-known vendor that I know, and his house was getting done into tiles, 3 tiles on the wall cladding. Okay, the client wanted the house to be maintenance free, because it was like third or the fourth home that they had in Bombay, right? So they wanted to clad all the tiles around the living space or the bedrooms. So they used these 3 thin tiles, 1 meter by 3 meter, all on the walls. I got a call one day from the contractor. I said the work has stopped. मैंने बोला क्यों रुक गया काम? बोले नहीं पूजा होनी बाकी है. मैंने बोला क्यों? तो बोले हमारे यहाँ पे लगता है कुछ है. मैंने बोला क्या है? तो बोले नहीं हमारे वो पूजा करनी है. तो I understood that they are talking about supernatural, right? बोला मैं आता हूँ साइड पे देखने के लिए क्या हुआ है. I went there. All the tiles were cracked, as if someone is impacted on the tile. किसी ने
is
punch
it?
मारा है. All the tiles. So they thought there's something.
Maybe earthquake.
No, nothing. So they thought there's something wrong. Okay.
Maybe the adhesive was stuck at that point of time.
Correct. So what happened is they used araldite as an adhesive to stick those tiles on the wall. What has happened is the moment, because this 3 tiles has got a mesh, fabric mesh behind. So जब वो लगा रहे थे ना, तो it is fluidic, right? But the moment it gets stiff,
obviously
it pulls.
Pulls,
तो
yeah.
वो
Yes,
जहाँ पे adhesive ज़्यादा है ना, वहाँ पे ज़्यादा pull करके वहाँ पे impact लग रहा है.
वो तो obviously वो तो वही लगेगा.
So when I asked him what happened, he said one day in the morning, a guy came to clean and suddenly pot.
Yeah, because the air traveled inside, the
And
whole
then
premises was start. Yeah.
And it started breaking all the tiles because
it's
the air
a
passed from
retention of
inside.
air because the air was stuck
Because the air
inside. The
passed,
moment
yes.
he opened up,
Yeah.
Got a
it
gap
opened up and
between
cut.
those.
It just all of that's,
So that
that's
is
a
the reason
science.
they thought
Because
that
of
it
the
is,
gap.
it is
That's a science,
supernatural,
that's a
but
I thought
then so so this is what happens when you're using a wrong product for wrong thing, because anything when you're doing, when it comes to 6 or the 3 tiles, so you need
but
to
that
use
was-
a rubberized glue right behind it, because it needs to have that impact resistance also. That's how it is.
I was doing, like in 2007 or I think 6, I don't remember, 7 or 6 or 8 maybe, I don't know, 7, 8, whatever. 7, I was doing a project with Audi, Gurgaon, and we were doing a showroom, and the tile had to, there was a mandate because all Audi showroom all across the world, they look the same.
Agreed.
So everything, the interiors are the same. So the tile had to come from Italy. and there was their spec, and the tile arrived. We had fixed up the tiles. So what happens is, and Audi showrooms are all glass always.
Agreed.
If they get 4 side open, they can do it. But primarily 2 side, 3 side open, all showrooms are like that. So the showroom which we were designing and we were doing was 3 side open. So the back side was shut. And we have a good strong sun which comes in every day. So what will happen is, every day 4:30 or 5 Zaid, the tile will seep in. And towards the evening, tile will come back.
How does it?
So we kept on thinking,
It
when
used to
they
go
call
inside.
up it will seep in.
Okay.
So we did not understand, okay, why is this happening? And that point of time, it was not introduced that how we do a mechanical fixing right now. That time it was all, sand and everything. Is when we called up people there. And we understood and we learned this, that they fix up with the whole of the tiles with the mechanical fixing, and we fix up with the rodi badri and whatever it is on the lay of it. So what will happen is, due to the heat and everything during the day, it will change its composition, it will seep in. And the moment with the turning, they will turn the air condition on, because the site was not on that point of time. In the evening, because they want to take all of the air and the dust out, and it will start to get cold, it will come back up.
It starts melting.
It
because
starts
of the
melting
sun.
and whatever it is, it will go down and then it will come up, is what we learned. And is where that whole chemical material has come in since then.
All right.
That we had to get the material from Italy back to India so that we can lay it. We should do a PCC and we should lay the tile over the PCC. Is now we're doing everywhere.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, it's available.
That's it then. I think we are good. Anything for us that you want to say?
No, nothing.
I think we had a very different conversation today where we elaborated more on what is furniture designing. That was the whole thing about. I think with you we understood that why interior designers need to have furniture designers on board. I think that's one
what
thing.
My perspective has totally changed after meeting.
Cool. All right. Glad that we could do that. Thank you so much for coming over. And I think it's been a pleasure conversing with you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Looking forward for more conversations forward.
Sure.
I want to add one thing.
Please.
Ravi is an amazing guy.
Edit.
Who works here? Who works with me here?
Cool. Thank you so much. That's a wrap. Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.